Welcome to Realty Success. We're so excited to have you all here with us this week. We're speaking with a real estate attorney who's going to talk to us about backup plans in real estate. What if something goes wrong? Believe it or not, it does happen sometimes. Our guest expert today, we're so happy to have you with us. It's Liz Barletta, and she's a real estate attorney. She works in Boston and in Florida, and she's going to talk with us today about having a home buying backup plan. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited.
I just had a situation where I had a seller who I was representing, and they were moving out of their home. They were purchasing a ranch. The ranch was closing later, but they wanted access to the barn to move stuff into. Now, the seller of that property didn't want any legal obligation from that person coming onto their property and or getting hurt. And then they also wanted a holdback of money in case there was any damages prior to closing that would then be returned at closing. And so they put it upon my shoulders to come up with a monetary amount of if some damage happened, what possibly could go wrong and how much would that cost. And because it was access to a ranch and they were just getting access to a barn, the only thing I could think of was either the gate, the electronic gate being damaged in a move, or the barn door itself. And so we did $1,000 holdback and then had an attorney write up a hold harmless agreement that they wouldn't sue if they were to get hurt on the property between the time of execution of that and close date in order to make that happen. How does an attorney calculate those kinds of things in terms of monetarily, this would be the right amount?
Obviously, every situation is so different, even town by town or property by property type is so different. But I usually rely heavily on my realtor partners, our junk remover partners, all the people within our sort of area to see, like, if worst case scenario, this were to happen, like, what's the potential cost? But besides the potential cost to replace, there's also like the emotional protection for a client. So the client in particular that I had the title issue this morning with, we ended up asking for a lot more than would probably be necessary, but mostly because it was like an emotional thought process, like, let's make it this amount to really induce the seller to do what they need to do quickly. So sometimes it's not necessarily even replacement cost or cost to fix. It's like that emotional value that really ends up contributing to sort of how we negotiate those agreements for holdbacks and different sums of money. What we also try when we're on the buying side, not so much on the seller side, we try to delete these types of paragraphs, but we try and keep the seller responsible over and above the amount that we're holding. So at least worst case scenario, if we did a bad job estimating what it could cost, the seller is still on the hook contractually. They'd probably, if they didn't want to pay it, the buyer would have the ability to sue them in court, which would stink to have to go through that sort of hoopla for that type of thing. But at least they have something in writing signed by both parties that could keep the seller responsible if whatever cost exceeded what we ended up creating for the holdback.
I don't know how you all get through real estate transactions without an attorney.
Well, because we need them all of the time. And that's why I have so many questions. Half of the deals I work with, I'm like, oh, we should have an attorney on this. And everybody's like, oh, attorneys are expensive. Let's just figure this out. I'm like, it's a big purchase.
Yeah.
You should get an attorney, you know?
It's not that much here. Yeah. It's not that.
In comparison to the property, it's not.
And it also depends, I think. So I think the states that have attorneys that are required to be as part of the transaction, those attorneys, I mean, including myself, we really work to become affordable and not what most people would consider like when you think you're going to hire an attorney, there's a retainer involved, there's hourly fees. Well, I don't want to call this attorney. I'm going to get a bill that's crazy. And the majority of people who are attorneys who practice solely in transactional real estate are generally flat fee service. So
I'm dealing with a couple of probate issues at the moment.
Probate?
Yeah, probate. And their question to me was, should we get an attorney? We feel like they're very expensive. And can title handle the probate versus an attorney?
Right. Well, State by state, I do transactional real estate. I do not touch probate. I work with my probate partners who do their thing and I do my thing. We all live in our own little bubble because, well, for my own personal practice, I like to be responsive to clients. And when you're in probate or anything litigious, you are in court all day. You're waiting for your case to be heard and you're just not available. So the likelihood is that they should definitely hire a probate attorney, especially because in our state, for example, depending on how the will is written, you either have to get what's called a license to sell, or you can just sell. The personal representative can just sell so long as they have that right within the will. There's just nuances that a title company, I'm sure they're able to like read the will and decipher those types of things. But the likelihood is in your state, it would probably make more sense to hire a probate attorney.
So
I think it's always better to nip it in the butt and do it sooner rather than later because it's an inevitability.
Liz, I love what you're saying. Thank you so much for that. I will recommend you get an attorney right away.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And to our wonderful guest expert and real estate attorney, Liz, if you'll tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, our website is easyligris, ligris.com. My profile is there. I'm on Instagram at LizBESQ, and my email is barlettateam@ligris.com. But thank you all so much for letting me chat today with you all.
And we'll see everybody again next time.